Right, hello YouTube. Welcome to this slightly long-awaited video, an introduction to the Land Rover project. This Land Rover belongs to a friend of mine, and I have been working on it. I've done maybe a fifth or a quarter of the work required, and I'll show you that in a moment. It's been outside for some time. During that time I've done the scimitar, fixing it up, and a number of other things, and I've got back into putting some videos on YouTube. So this is why the introduction to this project is a little bit in the middle of it, not at the beginning. So this is the Land Rover. It's a friend of mine. It's a 1970 something or other, 73 maybe, Series 3, 2.25 litre petrol engine. I got it running for him initially and drove it around his field there. He's had it for a number of years and has wanted it fixed up for a while, but he's not into fixing cars, but he's wanted some patching work done on the chassis to get it through an MOT. And yeah, so I got it running, got the clutch working so we could drive it around, no brakes or anything. And then got it here, and it's just spiraled out of control now. And I'm doing lots and lots on it, and I'm having a great time doing it. It's I've worked on quite a few different cars in different capacities, and this is by a country mile the easiest thing I've ever worked on. It's just so simple. Everything is easily got at. It comes apart. There don't seem to be many special tools needed for anything like that. Yeah, it just does what it says on the tin, really. And of course it's aluminium, so there's a lot less rust than you'd expect. Although it has got its rust, and I'll show you some of that in a minute. So yeah, this is an Land Rover project. I'm about to start it again, basically, after sort of 6 months of not doing any work on it. I should get back on with it now, and I want to tuck into it, and I want to get this thing done this year, possibly, but definitely by the end of next year. I'm hoping to contribute some regular videos on progress on this. There's a lot of it on YouTube, loads of stuff on Land Rovers, lots of people with far more ability than me doing those things as well. But I'll explain in this video how I'm tackling this and what you can expect from this video. Right, here you go. You can see now it's not all there. In fact, it is mostly there, but it's there instead of there. Yeah, so it's still in a drivable condition. I drove it in here like this, sat on the fuel tank there. Basically, from here forwards, nothing has been touched. Obviously, parts have been removed, but nothing has been touched, yeah. And from here back, all done. It's a little dusty now, actually, but it is, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's done. So it isn't the most amazing restoration. There's patches in, you can see there's a patch there, look. But it is, I would be certainly very happy with it if it was mine. I've taken bits of the chassis that were rotten and I've replaced them. Now you can see this is the case everywhere, but here you can see there's dimple marks where there was flakes of rust coming off, but I've taken those way back. I've spent some amount of time with an angle grinder wire wheel taking that back as far as I dare, and it's and hammering it basically everywhere. So there's about 13 patches on the chassis, I believe. Yeah, from where have I gone? From about here back. So that's one of them. There's another one there. There's There's quite a few underneath, and I think I've included that back end as one. So there's a lot of patches on there, but everywhere it was weak, it's been replaced. If it did the first 45 years, yeah. It'll be all right for a good long time. It's not, you know, a restoration you'd spend you'd pay a company thousands to do, but it's a good solid repair. It's been completely painted. So yeah, from there back, I'm very happy with it. So it had that one was pretty new. I think it was that one. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that one was done very recently. It looked great. I left it alone, but that one I cut that one off and replaced it completely. So that's a new piece. Well, this exhaust mat, I made a whole new one of those. It's quite a simple little bent piece. That came with the chassis, yeah. So this has got a whole rear chassis. I think it's called a rear quarter on it, something like that. So from here back is all entirely brand new. And I think it's very good value, in fact. 130 quid maybe, something like that. The entire back end of the chassis. It was completely rotten, the old one. Totally knackered. New springs, we've got parabolic springs. As you can see there's only a few springs in there. It's not like the old stack. Parabolic springs, a new, what are they called? Monroe dampers, yeah. So that's all done. New brake lines. I've cleaned up this flicker, the breather. New brake components, new shoes and things like that. I've not replaced any bearings, but they've all been checked, re-greased. New end caps. So I can't say it's all brand new, but it is all from here back. It's all been checked, and everything that needed replacing has been replaced. So it is in a very good serviceable condition. I think that would be the way to put it. The diff did not need any, well, I say that, I've replaced the seal here and the thrower ring and this, in fact, so yeah, that has been replaced, but I haven't replaced the bearings. They were found to be okay. They were all inspected and in good shape. So that's it, you see, that's the work I've done from there back. He's got some new wheels to go on. They'll go on at a later stage. And this is basically how it started. It all looked very much like that at the back of this car. So you can see there are bits of it like here, which is actually, it's all right. I mean, there's even actually, you can't see it on camera, but there's even a shiny, yeah, maybe you can, shiny bit of metal there where some paint's come off. There's bits of it that are all right. I've got new outriggers here which hold the bulkhead, a few other components, new springs and dampers for the front, waiting to go on as well. Yeah. Then there's the bulkhead. That's the other bit which is made of steel, as I'm sure anyone watching will know. That's pretty far gone, this one here. There's big holes there and so on. Now, I thought bulkheads go pretty badly up in this area, but maybe it's more of a Defender thing, I'm not really sure. But this one looked kind of alright from the outside of the vehicle, but yeah, when you get closer and look inside, it is in very poor shape. So there's a whole new bulkhead, which my friend who owns this vehicle, on my advice, he got this one. So this is not galvanised, but it is, I believe it's been reworked. It's an old bulkhead that's been reworked. It's not the neatest, in fact. I mean, there's some pretty shonky looking stuff on here. I'm not massively impressed with it, but it is solid. There's no rust in it as far as I can see. And if I put a liberal dosing of seam sealer and stone chip on there, it'll do the job. So I'm 80% sure I'm going to use that. But I don't know, there's a bit of me that wants to fix this one up. But I'm not into welding sheet steel and bodywork. I'm just not into it, really. I mean, we set out to fix the chassis. I can do that sort of welding, no problem. But we'll see, whatever. We'll see. So, next things then. I'm going to get these body panels off. Possibly that windscreen. I've got to strip the dash, get rid of all this stuff. I don't know, but I might take the bulkhead. Yeah, I think I'll take the bulkhead off. I'm going to take the engine and gearbox out. Eventually I'll have the front axle off, so this will be left basically with nothing on it. And from there I'm going to repair the chassis, the front end of the chassis. I'll probably do the axle next, so just the same as I did on the back, but it's obviously a more complicated beast, the front axle. And change any linkages and ball joints and things that need changing. So it's back on its wheels and can be moved around. I think then I'll reward myself with the fun of doing the engine. And I think I might do, some compression checks on it and things like that, and just if it's all looking fairly healthy, that'll be it. I'll just replace all the seals, any service items and things like that, and put the engine back in and paint it, obviously, make it look nice. And then it'll be the bulkhead, so either paint that bulkhead up and stick it on. The only downside, of course, is that getting a paint match is going to be very difficult, or I try and patch up that bulkhead. And that will be the vast majority of the work. It's then putting it back together, basically. The other thing is I've still got that body tub there to put back on, and I'm wondering whether I might do that sooner rather than later, just to get it out of the way, really. It means there'll be less room taken up in the garage, plus I can keep storing all this stuff. So there's the front springs, for example. I can keep storing all this in the tub. There'll be more room, in fact, because it'll be laid flat. So I might put that back on, but I've just got to have a little look into how to do that. I assume there's some material got to go between these contact points and the pad contact points on the bottom of the tub as well. Yeah, that's kind of it, really. That is an introduction to the Land Rover project. So there you go, chassis repairs done, or half done, and the next thing is to set into dismantling it. So if you've watched this far, thank you very much. Let's get going.